Но все мы ждали чикагский автосалон. Подари нам подарки, сделай презентацию наград, назови лучшие машины.
This is Jason with Chicago News, and we're here at the 2019 Chicago Auto Show. We're getting ready to give out our 2019 SUV and crossover of the year. We've got Miles Peterson from Volvo here with us, and we're awarding SUV crossover of the year to the XC40, which is their newest and smallest SUV. We found it to be really engaging, really modern, and kind of a fun and funky take. Volvo can be a little bit stodgy in their history, so it's nice to see something a little bit exciting come out from the product line. So, Miles, congratulations, and we have a couple questions. First of all, the test version that we got had some nice bold orange carpeting. Do you know anything about the decision process behind that? Who came up with the idea? Was there any kickback or pushback on that?
No pushback. I think that just came about during the normal evolution of the design of the car. We definitely wanted to make this car a little bit edgier, a little bit more for a youthful type of market. We're really focusing on conquesting new buyers to the brand with this car. And quite honestly, the people that have been buying it are many people that probably wouldn't have looked at Volvo if we hadn't had a vehicle in this segment. So it's a younger buyer. As you can tell from the exterior of the car, which is very edgy and very not like what we normally do, we put some of that into the interior as well. I think the carpet is definitely that an expressive design element.
Sure. Now that the new V60 and S60 are coming out, and I know that on the horizon is the new XC60 as well, that kind of makes it where the whole product line has been updated, if you will, to the sort of the modern Volvo that we certainly love. What's next for Volvo beyond that? You know, I'm sure you guys are already looking to the future and what's next.
Yeah, so in 2015 when we came out with the XC90, we told the retailers at that time that by the end of 2018, that car would be the oldest car in our portfolio, and that is the case now. We have redone all of our vehicle lines, both crossovers and sedans and wagons, and so I believe the next car on the horizon is going to be a mid-cycle enhancement to the XC90.
Sure.
We're going to build that vehicle in our new manufacturing facility in Charleston, South Carolina, and I believe that production will start within the next couple of years. So I think that's the next thing on the horizon.
Very cool. I know that another innovation that came out with the XC40 is the subscription-based ownership model. Can you talk a little bit about that? Has there been good engagement with that? Have you guys seen some use with that?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, so far Care by Volvo is our subscription-based platform. It's been very, very good. We sold out of it pretty quickly with the XC40. The vehicle being as hot as it was, it certainly helped with that. The people that are coming and choosing to buy in that manner are people that we've never engaged with before. So something like 90% of these people are new to the brand, never considered Volvo before, so it's clearly reaching a market of consumers that maybe want to buy a car a different way. It's been a real good program for us. It's a piece of the overall retail puzzle. It's not going to take the place of what we traditionally do, but it's just another alternative for somebody that maybe wants to buy a car in not the conventional way.
Sure, sure. Now I know safety has always been a major brand concern for Volvo, and they've been at the forefront of it as long as I can remember, as long as I've been around. What can you tell us about, you know, the sort of vision moving forward for safety for Volvo?
Well, our vision is that by 2020 that nobody will be killed or injured while driving, or seriously injured while driving a Volvo. And so we've put a lot of technology into these recent product launches to help make that possible, both for passive and active safety systems, right up into including our autonomous driving system that is now available on all of our cars. So we have it is one of our core pillars of our corporation, and we intend to keep advancing that and towards that goal of no one being killed or injured in a car.
Well, without further ado, we've got the award here for SUV and crossover of the year for the 2019 Volvo XC40.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And now we've got truck of the year. We've got Brian Rasberg with Ford here. We're going to be awarding the F-150 that we got the chance to drive this past year. We actually drove the model with the V8 engine as opposed to the EcoBoost. We really enjoyed that. You know, it's a model that we believe has the best combination of utility, usability, but also luxury and features, technology that you can get in a truck that maybe a few years ago. Brian, congratulations on the award. We want to know what, with new competition entering the market, one of your biggest competitors is coming out with a new vehicle. What's Ford kind of planning to keep that title of best-selling
Well,
truck?
first of all, thank you for the award. Very proud to accept the award on behalf of the F-Series team. The thing that makes us so proud at Ford, and particularly F-Series, is we have a truck for every customer. So really glad that you had an opportunity to evaluate the V8, but we look at the breadth of the lineup to be able to attract many different types of customers. So realize there's a lot of competitive activity in this space right now, but we're going to stay focused on satisfying our customers, and we think we've got the best lineup to do that.
Great. Now, among the lineup, obviously you can set up these trucks with any number of features and any number of trim levels. Give us an idea of the breakdown, you know, how many of these are more basic work trucks, or how many people are opting for all the luxury features you can get?
Well, one of the successes of F-150 has been our ability to meet the demands of all customers. We've really started to do well in the higher trim series, but we do very well on all ends of the market. But to answer your question, about 20% of the F-150 volume are work truck or commercial customers, and the other 80% are retail customers. But then within that 80%, I'd say almost half of them opt for the XLT, or the middle of the lineup.
Sure.
But then a good portion of our customers also purchase the Lariat and above models. So we like to say we have a truck for every customer, and F-150 lives that.
Sure. The Midwest has got to be an important market for Ford trucks.
Well, it's a very important part of not only the Ford lineup, but particularly F-150 and the light duty portion, because you've got urban areas, you've got agriculture, you've got farming. And again, what makes F-150 so successful is meeting the demands of all those types of customers. So the E6 regular cab work truck customer all the way up to the premium pickup customer is very well suited for the Midwest.
Cool. Now, this is a little bit of a fun question, and I know you probably can't answer, but will we see the V8 back in the Ford Raptor anytime soon?
Yeah, we've never gotten that question before. No, but very popular question. You know, we're not at a point to disclose future plans. It's something we're always monitoring. As you know, Raptor has a very enthusiastic following, so we're keeping an eye on it.
All right. And I know you guys just introduced a few days ago the new Super Duty product line. Give us some info on that. What should we look out for?
Yeah, just a couple days ago, it was revealed publicly for the first time right here in Chicago. So exciting market for us to introduce the 2020 model year Super Duty. It'll be the most capable, most powerful, most technologically advanced Super Duty that we've ever produced. Next level of innovation and capability to our heavy duty customers.
Great. Well, without further ado, we've got our award here for Truck of the Year for the F-150.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. Giving it out this year to the CTS-V. We've actually already awarded the CTS-V 2 years prior, but we wanted to highlight it because it's leaving the marketplace and it's one of our favorite performance cars of all time. We've got John Plonka here with Cadillac. He's going to answer a couple questions for us. So John, I know that with the CTS-V leaving, that obviously leaves a hole in the heart of some enthusiasts like me, but I know that there's a commitment to the V brand. You've got the CT6V announced. What is sort of the future for the V moniker inside of Cadillac?
Yeah, thanks, Jason. First off, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the entire Cadillac team for recognizing the CTS-V. We're honored. Great product, as you mentioned. We all love it. Sad to see this generation product go, but as you mentioned, there's a clear commitment from Cadillac being the flagship brand for us and really a technology-proven ground. Racing is part of our heritage. The V Series has been a way to establish our credentials and just demonstrate the extreme capabilities that we want to be able to bring to the market. So clearly a commitment to that going forward. CT6V is just the latest execution in that product lineup.
Now with the CTS and the ATS both leaving the lineup shortly, obviously there's got to be some new product, and I know that you can't share specifics, but what are some general things that we can look for with upcoming models?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So very exciting time at Cadillac. We're in the middle of a slew of new products, starting with the XT6 which we unveiled in Detroit, and very excited to kind of fill out our portfolio of crossovers and SUVs, adding that to the lineup with the XT4, the XT5, and of course the Escalade. So that's really the latest news that we have going on, but I think we've communicated already we'll be bringing out something new roughly every 6 months for the next several years. We expect to be able to cover 90% of the luxury market within a few years in our showroom. Stay tuned for some future exciting product announcements related to the replacement of the vehicles you mentioned.
So will there be a V crossover in the future?
There's always room in the V family for a high performance variant.
Now, with Cadillac being at the forefront kind of technology, I know that semi-autonomous, autonomous driving, and certainly active safety features are a big part of your product. What's Cadillac's vision and commitment to that moving forward?
Yeah, it's an exciting and rapidly evolving environment for autonomous and EV, and I think clearly Cadillac is going to be the place where we prove what we're capable of doing. We think that's we compete in markets where customers will appreciate.
And I have to ask, as a personal wagon enthusiast, are we ever going to see another Cadillac station wagon?
I certainly hope so. I think that's a segment that's underserved for sure.
Excellent. Well, without further ado, we've got our award here for Performance Car of the Year for the CTS-V.
Thank you.
Getting ready to give out our award for Sports Car of the Year. We've got Josh King with McLaren Chicago. We're giving out the award for the McLaren 570S, car that we really were blown away by. We've driven a few obviously incredible performance cars. It's one of the great perks of reviewing cars, but performance, the handling, the looks really blew us away. We got to drive this out on the LA roads. So Josh, we love the 570S, but in your opinion and McLaren's perspective, what makes it stand out compared to the competition?
You know, just the performance of it. It's comfortable. Anybody can jump into it. We've got guys of all ages. We have women driving them, which is something that, a lot of women don't feel comfortable in the car. But you jump in, everything's very easy, it's very driver friendly, so it's more comfortable than anything without having to give up the performance at the same time. So.
Sure. If there was anything that you could do differently to develop a car like this, what would you change about the 570S?
There's just little tweaks, but mainly, we always want to go faster, so that's kind of the goal going forward. So. This comes in just under 570 horse. We have a lot of big stuff coming with a lot more power. That's usually, everything else is pretty good. Maybe switching up just some of the easy controls just to make it a little more user-friendly, but outside of that, they really hit it on the head with this car.
And how are the sales going in Chicago, and what are the more popular colors that you see people?
The North America market covered about 40% of the 4,000 sales that we did for McLaren globally this year. So we're the biggest market. In Chicago, we deal with the snow and the weather, but we still did just under 60 new last year. And some of the volcano colors, those are usually the best. Volcano yellow, orange, or red. More of a candy effect to them.
Are there any interesting upcoming events for the Midwest, for the area that people might look out for this coming summer?
Yeah, we do a lot of, we're at every car show, whether it's Cars and Coffee or Supercar Saturdays. We're going to have the 720 Spider at the showroom next week during Auto Show Week, just to let people come by, sit in it, see it. And then we'll do some events, some rides and drives, some track days down at Autobahn, but there's a bunch of stuff coming. We put everything on the website just to keep everybody updated.
Cool. Well, without further ado, we've got our award here for Sports Car of the Year for the McLaren 570S.
Perfect, thank you. On behalf of McLaren, I'd like to accept the award. Thanks for this, and we'll keep it coming.
Finally made it to our Car of the Year award for 2019. We're awarding that to the Kia Stinger, which for us was just something really new and fresh. A lot of car companies are really focusing on SUVs and crossovers, and that's all fine and good, but to see a brand get behind a performance car, a rear-wheel drive performance car, something that enthusiasts can sink their teeth into, is something that we found really exciting, and we wanted to recognize that with the awards. We've got James Bell here with Kia to give the award over, and James, we've got a couple questions that we'd like to ask. First of all, what was the concept that Kia kind of backed the Stinger with? What was the idea behind coming out with that right now in the market?
The designer is a gentleman by the name of Gregory Guillaume, who's English and French. As a young boy, he was raised in Paris, And he remembers in the late 70s seeing Maseratis and classic GT cars, 4-seat sports cars, Ferraris, etc., heading down to the south of France with beautiful tan people with their luggage on board. And that is an image that always stuck with him. So he had approached then Kia, who he worked for, and says, I have this vision of a car that we don't have in our lineup at all. He then, put pencil to paper, as they say, and made a design which just, it's one of the few cars in Kia's history that had very few modifications from upper management as it went from concept to production. A beautiful car has its own energy. And so that was where the idea first came from. What we then realized is that for the Kia brand to have a car that is really engaging, emotional, it touches your nerves in a really sexy way, Kia brand didn't have that. So the Stinger became real, and it's done exactly what we'd hope it do. Make people go, whoa, Kia, didn't see that coming.
Sure.
We scored.
Sure. Question I'm sure that you get asked quite a lot, especially a lot of enthusiasts are always asking about it. Yeah, they're always asking if there's going to be a manual transmission version, so I have to do my duty and ask.
I understand. I know the question well. The answer is no. We have discussed maybe doing it with a 4-cylinder model only, but with the V6. If you want to go fast, performance driver today, the fastest way to do it is with one of the more modern automatics, or paddle shift type transmission. So to be the highest performance does not mean manual anymore, even though, of course, it's fun.
Sure. With the car being rear drive, performance-based car, I have to ask too, are there any motorsports plans in the future for that platform?
We are exploring that right now. Obviously the platform, as you said, rear-wheel drive, it's just cherry-picked for being a fantastic base for some sort of sports car racing program. Nothing to announce today, but the car's only been on sale for about a year, and the impact that it's having on the Kia brand is already very palatable. So now we're looking at maybe to accelerate a little bit more, maybe looking at motorsports, but nothing to announce today.
Sure. Great segue into my next question is how has the reception been? How are the sales going for the Stinger? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, first full year of sales went well. What was the biggest impact though was rather than the hard number of Stingers we sold, which I think was about 18,000, something like that, is what people traded in to buy one. BMWs, Lexus, Audi, Mercedes, people that normally would never have come into a Kia dealership for good reason. All of a sudden they are engaged in this car, they drive it, realize that in many ways it's harder edge and better performance than their Lexus or their Audi. So it's done a great job of introducing the Kia brand to a completely different customer.
And in that vein, now that there is a sort of a performance halo vehicle for Kia, are there any plans for more performance vehicles in the line, more kind of sporty examples? Well,
the Stinger has definitely done its job. I mean, continuing to collect awards, which we're very appreciative of. Yes, we have. We're looking at potential, higher performance trims of the Stinger itself, but then also I think what we weren't sure of when we introduced the Stinger was, would the Kia brand resonate in that space? It has. It is. It's one of the most respected vehicles on the show floor here, just for being kind of a shock to the system. Yeah. But then backing it up, it's not a new ad campaign. It's not just a pretty design. It's a damn good car to drive. So yes, we think that the Kia brand has established itself as being kind of unexpected in segments, and sports cars is one of those.
Great. Well, without further ado, we've got our award here for Car of the Year for the 2019 Kia Stinger.
I think this is great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, sir. We'll put this up proudly, I can tell you that.
Great.